What's up, y'all? I don't know if I have crust on my lips or my eyes, but I'm gonna post this anyway. So I had something on my mind. By the way, my name is Ron G. My wife is right over there, but she's doing something on the phone, and just a little something I wanted to talk about that was on my mind because I was doing it last night. So when negative energy, I would call it, when negative energy impacts your sleep, what do you do? I'll tell you what I do. I toss and turn in the bed. This is mainly for when you're in the bed and you're not getting any sleep, or you're not resting properly, or getting your full 6, 7, 8, whatever you require of sleeping. See me, I always do my best. I don't always succeed, but I do my best to try to be respectful of my significant other, my wife. If you're single,
Got it.
if you're single, it probably doesn't apply to you, because then it doesn't matter, but you can still watch the video, because I think when you have a lot of negative energy and it's causing you from sleeping, and you can do something about that instead of just lying in bed and staring at the wall or the mirror or your TV or watching TV or on your cell phone. Why don't you do something to enhance yourself? And I guess I've got to follow my own instructions or my own advice, because I guess I'll call this advice, because I don't do it either. When I have some negative energy that's keeping me from sleeping or resting properly, I toss and turn and I stare at the ceiling, eyes are wide open, and whether it's disturbing my wife or not, I don't know, because she's a sport, because she doesn't really say much, and she'll just lay there even if I am bothering her, and even if she's awake, she still won't say anything. So this is more for me to look back on and watch the video and say, you know what, when you have some negative energy and it's impacting your sleep or your resting, and the person that you're in bed with is trying to rest as well, get your butt up and go do something. Go do some jumping jacks, go do some push-ups, do some running in space. Do something that's not gonna disturb your significant other when they're trying to sleep, because just because you can't sleep, let them sleep, and vice versa. I'm just a true believer, if whoever's sleeping in the bed first, have some decency. If you want to read your book, okay, go to the next room. I know some people like to lay down and read, and if the other person is in bed and a nightlight doesn't bother them, okay, that's what you need to do to unwind and go to sleep, do that. But make sure you get a firm grip on what your significant other is cool with. Just don't do it just because you're selfish and you're pig-headed and you just don't care. That's not right. Because honestly, I'm doing the same thing. When I can't sleep, I'm tossing and turning. I'm moving left, I'm moving right, I'm laying on my stomach, laying on my back, I'm moving pillows, I'm moving my arms, legs are crossing, I'm opening them up wide, I'm just doing all types of silly stuff because I'm really lazy and I don't want to get up. And you got to think to yourself, is that being respectful? Is that being a good partner to the person that's next to you? So you got to be considerate. I know I'm not as considerate as I should be, and I'm not. I should be a hell of a lot more than I am, and I know that. And you got to work on that. Well, talking to me for the future, got to work on that. So I just think when I have some impactful moments, when I can't sleep, when I can hit that pillow and go to sleep, I don't know what's happening. My wife tells me sometimes my arms is wailing, sometimes my legs are moving. So she said sometimes I'm moving back. I don't know half of that. Sometimes she even tells me I grab a boob. So I don't be knowing I'm doing that stuff. That was a personal moment, but I thought it was funny. It is funny to me. So now those, okay, I'm asleep, but when I'm wide awake, let your significant other sleep and go do something constructive. Read a book, whatever's going to help you get into that mode for you to fall asleep. And unfortunately, those negative impacts come at moments that you don't want it, but sometimes you can't help yourself. What if you got to go to work the next day? What if you have an engagement to go to that you can't cancel? And that stuff is rough. Sometimes you got to get up and you got to be sleepy and you got to go do that because you got obligations, whether it's working, you got to do something for someone, you got to help elderly people, you got to help your children, you got to do something for just yourself that you know you cannot pass on. So sometimes, and I know people out there that sometimes they do things, they're exhausted, they just have to do it, and I know that. But what I'm saying is, for you, future Ron, when you can't sleep, and for everybody else, hopefully this helps. It may sound funny, it may sound weird, it may sound like I don't want to do that, because I do it right now as I'm making this video. I do it. But go do something constructive. Go do some jumping jacks, go do some push-ups. If you can jump rope, if you have the luxury to have a machine in your house where it's a treadmill or an elliptical. All of us don't have that. We had one, we sold it. We got it out of the house. It was a little something. I used to use it. The wife used it all the time. She was a champ at that thing, actually. She can be on that thing for 2 hours, didn't bother, like she was a machine or something. But we don't have any of those contraptions. It'd be nice if we had a treadmill in the house, but I'm thinking if we ever get the opportunity to get stuff like that, it can't be in the bedroom, because you don't know when that negative energy is going to hit you. It can hit you at 12 o'clock at night. It can hit you at 2:30 in the morning, eyes open, wide open, and you can't go back to sleep. Well, how does that look to go on the other side or your side, turn on the treadmill, while your significant other sleeping and when you walking? That doesn't make any sense. But you got to do something constructive to try to work that negative energy. Some of us got more negative, impactful energy than others. Some of us can go for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. You get the drift. And I'm just got to learn from myself, like, man, you got to go do something. You can't just lay there and toss and turn, and you got to go do something constructive. I can read a book for about 20 minutes and my eyes get heavy. It's all about just working that energy, whatever floats your boat, whatever that is, whatever you're into, to try to work that energy off and to get you tired. Because a lot of times you can be dead tired and all of a sudden, bam, that negative energy hits you, and then boom, second wind. Like, what? No, I was just sleepy half hour ago. Now all of a sudden I got all this negative pent up impactful energy, and now I can't go to sleep. And sometimes it lasts 10 minutes, sometimes it lasts 3 hours. You don't know. And throughout your day, sometimes it just happens, And some of us can just go right to sleep. Most of the time in my life, I can just lay down, my head hit the pillow, I'm snoozed. But, not perfect. Things happen in my life, things happen in my personal life, things happen in my professional life, and, we're not robots. We just can't shut it down. Feelings are feelings, right, y'all? I just wanted to come on and just say, you got to do something constructive. You got to do something. When that negative energy hits you, don't be a pain to anybody. Just go out there to do something to work that off. To work it off. If you have the luxury to have things in your house to work it off, go for it. Easier said than done. I know that. Easy said than done. But you got to do it. Because everybody, like I said, if you're single, you can lay there for 4 hours and go for that. But for me, I can't lay there and not move. I'm a very jittery person, if that's what you want to call it. If I can lay there and stay still, cool. But how many of us can lay there for 2 hours, 3 hours, and don't move a muscle? Yeah, you can do that. Put that in the comments, because I can't do that at all. For me, it's just more just being kind and respectful, and just being considerate of the person that's next to me, and I don't want to disturb their sleep. So like a dream, I can get up from that. But when you got some negative crap that's going on and that energy is just there, you got to work it off. That's all I'm saying, You just got to work that energy off. And however you got to work that energy off, just work it off. And then maybe you can shower or do whatever you got to do, get back in the bed, and maybe you'll fall asleep. But this just for the future Ron to just look back on and go, you know what, old Ron, old Ron, and just say, you got to follow that and do that, and stop being lazy. get up and do what you got to do, and it'll work out instead of sitting there and just fighting yourself because you're just being a lazy bum. All right, y'all, I just wanted to share that. That was just on my mind, and I just wanted to open up, say a little bit about that, and because I got a little bit of negative energy, it's impactful, it's keeping me from sleeping, and I just wanted to just, you know, not get too deep, but just say a little something about that. All right, y'all have a good one.